There is nothing as dignity-free as a Republican activist, as someone who desires closeness to power so much. They yearn for it. They crave it. It's like they're addicted to it. They can't help themselves but debase themselves. Ted Cruz, we witnessed after he tried to take on Donald Trump in the 2016 primary, ended up debasing himself, bending the knee after Donald Trump called his wife ugly and said his dad killed JFK. He made phone calls for Donald Trump. He now is his biggest lapdog among many. But there's a host of these characters. Some, though, weren't ever opponents of Donald Trump. They were shapers and molders of the agenda of Donald Trump. People like Stephen Miller. Steve Miller, who runs the America First Legal Foundation or some nonsense. These people love the America First title. I was going to say having no understanding of what the past is, but they know fully, especially Stephen Miller, a guy who knows history, that America First has always been, the Nazis have used it, white supremacists have used it, the KKK has used it. It is on brand for Stephen Miller and the Republican Party, America First. But the debasement that I'm talking about is in a clip from yesterday on Fox News where he went off on this side tangent about style, about how Donald Trump is an icon of style and that we've never had a more stylish president and first lady than Donald Trump and Melania. And look, I would agree. Melania, she's a pretty lady. She's a stylish woman. She dresses well, but it's kind of easy to do so when you are a filthy rich freak with stylists and the campaign paying you high 6-digit salaries of stylists to dress and style you. It's not like me who just goes down to his local men's store and buys a sport coat. She's having people pour over her, do her makeup, style her in certain clothing. Not hard. But Donald Trump, come on. Donald Trump is an icon of style. I think that's what he said. He's a style icon, he called it. In fact, we'll get to the clip. We'll break it down on the other side.
Also to say, since we're addressing the subject of style, the most stylish president and first lady in our lifetimes are Donald Trump and Melania Trump. Donald Trump's a style icon. He changed American fashion in The Apprentice. People spent the next 10 years trying to dress like Donald Trump. So if anybody deserves a puff piece on their sense of style, it's Donald Trump and the first lady.
First of all, and we'll cut back to it, why is he breaking into some kind of an Irish accent? Donald Trump's a style icon. He changed American fashion. What's he doing? Is Stephen Miller doing his best leprechaun right now?
Donald Trump's a style icon.
I mean, come on. But what would it take? Let me ask this. We could step outside of the Stephen Miller nonsense. What would it take for you, viewer, to debase yourself like this? To jettison any self-respect whatsoever and just worship at the throne of someone like Donald Trump? To eschew any respect for oneself and to lick at the boots of a fascist like Donald Trump. And moreover, what kind of an atmosphere does Donald Trump foster? He demands it. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen so often. Remember when he first got into the presidency and they had their first set of cabinet meetings? And the first 45 minutes of it was just going around the room and having every single cabinet official or high-ranking official tell Donald Trump how wonderful he is and how happy they are to have been chosen and to be there. It was weird. It's not servant leadership. Donald Trump doesn't look at himself as a servant of the people. He looks at himself as a dictator type, an autocrat, Well, he wants to rule this country with an iron fist, just like he talks about both Kim Jong-un and Xi Jinping. That's what he wants. And they want it too. Otherwise, they wouldn't have so little dignity for themselves. They wouldn't be so effing shameless to act like this. There wouldn't be a host of different individuals who have bent the knee and suspended any respect for themselves in order to worship Donald Trump. And that's what we got. Donald Trump is the most stylish president. We've had all kinds of rich dudes as president who dressed well. JFK, FDR, Ronald Reagan, for that matter, is a more stylish president than Donald Trump. What reality do these people want to create in their fantasy land? Fat, goofy, piss-soaked dog hair on his head. What are they talking about? What do you think? I mean, come on. This is weird and gross and getting weirder and grosser. It's not like we hit a maintained level. It's continuing to get worse and worse and worse with these people. But I guess when you foster an environment where people are flying flags and then commentators saying, have you ever noticed nobody flies Biden flags? As though it's a bad thing that we don't fly our flags like we worship Joe Biden? Weird. Anyway, what do you think? We can have a conversation in the comments. That would be great. If you want to call and yell at me about your love of Stephen Miller, the number is 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me your love of Stephen Miller at daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. Please consider supporting my work. I would appreciate it very much. If you want to help me make these videos, click the join button below this video on YouTube to become a channel member for $2 a month. You can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. And there too, you can help my work for $2 a month. Patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore, and I'm going to see you next time. Or you're going to see me. One of the two. Not a threat. Kind of a recommendation, promise? I don't know. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.